Ayo, welcome to the family. This is Glory Vision. My name is Jay, and my goal in life is to be the reason millions of people master themselves. Let's get this. So, today's topic is getting rid of bad habits. I got my notebook here with me. Let's get this shit, man. It can be hard trying to learn how to master yourself when you have a lack of guidance and a lack of self reliance, which means you have generally no direction. You have nobody pushing you a certain which way to go, and that can leave you feeling hopeless or lost. You have most likely lived your whole life being told what to do, and now you're at a point where you want to take matters into your own hands, but you don't know where to start, so you feel stuck. Well, have no fear, because I'm here to help you with that. By knowing how to be self-reliant, you won't need other people's validation. You won't need other people to push you to do certain things, because you will already know what you need to do, and you will already know what the tasks are that you need to do to get you exactly where you want to be in life. All those tasks that you've been putting aside, where you're like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, or when the time is right, I'm going to help you make it so those tasks don't feel like tasks, and you pretty much just do things that you need to do. It's all about perspective and changing your perspective. Don't get overwhelmed, because when you hear becoming self-reliant and depending fully on yourself, that can be a scary thought for some people. But the reality is that when you master this, it's like a bike. You learn how to ride a bike and you don't really forget it. It's something that stays in the back of your mind. Well, self-reliance is pretty similar in the way that once you're able to understand how it works and apply it to your life, it'll feel like second nature, and it'll be something that you don't really have to think about when you're doing it. Self-reliance is essentially self-trust. If you rely on yourself to do the things that you know you need to do, that shows that you trust yourself and you trust your ability to do these things. If you feel like you go live your life day to day and every day feels the same, that's probably because you are lacking some type of guidance to push you to do the challenges that you know you need to do. And self-reliance and self-trust is pretty much the ability to be able to push through and do all the things you need to do, no matter how you're feeling, no matter your emotions, no matter if you're hungry, if you're tired, etc. Now we get to the good stuff. So we got an inner compass. Everybody has an inner compass, and your inner compass is basically the destination is where you're trying to end up. The destination is your desired reality. And when you've been living your whole life being pushed around, being told what to do, you probably don't even know what you want. Like, you don't even know your own definition of success, what it means to be successful. So, for one, that's something that you have to sit down and think about. What is your definition of success? Do you care about money? Do you care about fame? Do you care about climbing Mount Everest? What do you care about? And try and find something that's specific to you. Don't try and be influenced by other people or by social media, because that kind of ruins the point. It's your life. So you should choose what is the pinnacle of success. What is the pinnacle of, I have lived a good life? What does that look like to you? Your inner compass, of course, is how you guide yourself to get to this point. And your inner compass right now, if you're watching this video, it's probably going haywire. And what I mean by that is you don't have the needle set on a specific location. Instead, the compass is just spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning, aimlessly, uncontrollably. And self-reliance and self-trust is going to help you so you can actually narrow down exactly what you want, and then align all your actions and everything that you do in your everyday life to reach that certain point. So now you're probably asking yourself, well, how do I use this compass to my advantage? And well, it's simple. The way you do it is, first, you have to get rid of the bad habits, because these bad habits are fogging up your mind and your clarity. The way you start is by finding out what the bad habits that you are doing and how they are affecting your life. You probably already know how they are affecting your life, but the most important thing is being aware. Once you are aware of the things that are holding you back, you'll be able to grab them and remove them and substitute them with something that will help you reach your destination. I say reach your destination because your goals might be different than the person beside you and their goals, or your goals might be different than mine. Your goal might be, I want to not be obese, or it can be, I want financial stability. It can be different goals for different people. So this inner compass, it works like this. For example, let's say you want to take a week off of drinking and doing drugs. So what you do is you go take a week off drinking and doing drugs. Once you have finished that week, you will find that you have built up this sort of self-confidence, and you'll feel accomplished because you did something. Let's say you don't complete the first week. Well, you're still in a good spot. You're in a very advantageous spot because it can be used for good. Let's say you only go 4 days. Well, that's where you get to sit down and analyze, well, what went wrong? What triggered me to fall back into my old habits? And then the things that will separate you from the person who just pities themselves and mopes and just gives up is you're going to be able to look at these 4 days and see it as progress. You're going to be realizing that if you did 4 days, well, you can for sure do a week. It's not out of the question. So after analyzing what went wrong, let's say you try again and you get the week. Boom, you get a whole week, no alcohol, no drugs. Good on you. Now you have built up a little bit of self-trust. So now what happens with that inner compass? That inner compass went from going around aimlessly in circles, no idea where it wants to go, to now it spins in circles, but every once in a while, the needle will stop at a certain point, and it'll aim in that direction for, let's say, a second or two. And then it'll go back to what it was doing. It'll go in circles and circles and circles. Because that's kind of what your psyche is like right now. You've been going your whole life being told what to do, so you don't know how to take control for yourself. And when you first start this process of taking control of your life, it's going to feel very awkward. It's going to feel uncomfortable, maybe even intimidating. But the important thing to realize is that that's just part of the process. That's how you know you're actually growing, because you're doing something that is different than what you're used to. That is pretty much how you get growth. You have to do something different, and you learn from it, and you adapt, and then you overcome. When you're working on your self-reliance, what you're doing is you are trying to take control of your life. And by diminishing these bad habits, what you're doing is you're opening up more space and more energy for the things that will actually push the needle or give you leverage. Think about it as, how much bang are you getting for your buck? The bang being let's say the productivity or the progress that you see, the buck being the effort you put in. So you have to find what is the single task that will open up the most amount of space for me. It is basically like, what is the thing that I know I shouldn't be doing? And once you have that, you're able to work on that, because life is like a video game. If you want something, what do? You work towards it. You build up your experience, you build up your skills, and eventually you have fought enough battles to be able to receive what it is that you want. An example I can give you guys could be like, oh, I want to build up my self-confidence. Well, you want to build up your self-confidence, but you have a fucked up sleep schedule. You have to start small. Starting small is how you get the big things accomplished. The snowball effect is very real. All the good habits that you do today, as well as all the bad habits that you do today, down the line, the effects will kind of snowfall or cascade into something bigger. If every day consistently you go to the gym, surely by like 4 months in, you will see some type of progress. The same goes for, let's say, you're drinking every day for 3 months straight. Well, I think it's safe to say that by the third or fourth month, you will feel like shit. That's the way to look at it, is everything you do is either one step forward or one step back, even if you might not realize it in the moment. Down the line, with hindsight, everything that you do in your day-to-day life has either a benefit to you, or it is just making you stray further from your destination. That's the reality. So everything that you want to achieve, trust me, you can achieve it. You just have to start somewhere, and you have to start small. You don't want to start at level 0 trying to slay the dragon. You don't want to start at level 0 trying to defeat the level 100 boss, because you will not succeed. You will fail. That's like you trying to start a business or make $10,000 a month when you don't even brush your teeth twice a day, when you don't even make your bed in the morning. Can you become a millionaire without making your bed in the morning? Absolutely, yes, you can. But it's all about the mindset and the way you look at things. If you are too lazy, or you don't think it's worth it to put in the work, the 2 seconds to make your bed, surely that will translate in your business when you're skipping corners and you're doing certain things that if you made your bed you would not be doing, because it's all about the way you look at it. If you skip corners in one place, you'll skip corners in somewhere else. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So when it comes to this, there is no skipping corners. You have to start small, and little by little you will build yourself up and up and up and up, and eventually you will be able to beat that level 100 boss. For you, that could be making $10,000 a month, or it could be reaching a certain weight goal. You have to start small. You can't just build Rome in one night. That's not how it works. You place a brick day by day, and as some time goes by, you stop and you look at it and you say, wow, look how far I became. And that's how you're able to progress. You might feel like you're having fun doing drugs, watching porn, smoking weed, sleeping in every day, not reading books. You might feel like that's fun, playing video games all day, but the reality is, once you go from that, the phase from living a hedonistic lifestyle to living a fulfilled lifestyle where you accomplish your dreams and your goals, the bridge between that is a very uncomfortable one, because you're going from the known and the familiar, and you're taking a leap of faith in yourself to reach the unknown. The great things happen in the unknown. This is where they happen. It feels uncomfortable at first while you're traversing this bridge, but the reality is, once you are on the other side of the bridge, you will find that when you do certain things that take you further and further away from your old self and closer to the desired self that you wish to be, you will find that those things become fun to you. You fall in love with the process, you fall in love with the game, and you start to understand how the game works, and you start to have more love for it, and that makes it so when you're doing these hard, challenging things, it actually feels fun for you. And since you're working towards your goal, it'll feel more fulfilling than playing an hour or two of video games would have felt back when your old self used to be into that type of stuff. I would say the most important thing about this journey is tailoring it to fit your needs and what you want. Don't let somebody else tell you what you desire or what you want in life. Don't let somebody else tell you. Actually find that out for yourself. Find out what you want. Be true to yourself. Don't try and be like somebody else or try to do things the same way somebody else did. You can take inspiration from people, of course, and you can learn from their mistakes, of course. But the main thing is you have to know what you want, and the reasons that you want these things, they have to come from within. They can't come from without, because that ruins the whole point. Remember, everybody has a specific journey. Be like a horse. Be like a racehorse. Racehorse have protectors that cover their eyes when they're in a race. The reason they have this is because it's a psychological thing. The horses will run faster if they feel that the only thing that is stopping them is themselves. They aren't comparing themselves to other horses. They are just in a straight line, and they are just doing what they can to get to that finish line. And the same has to be with you. You have to focus on yourself and what you want. If you're comparing yourself to other people, you might get inspired, but chances are you will feel unmotivated because you'll feel like you're so far behind. everybody has a different journey, and you have to learn that your journey is important because it's what makes you you. When you're picking the challenge that you want to overcome, let's say you want to go on a run every day for a week straight. Well, that's very doable. But the way you want to look at it is, what is a goal I can set myself that I know will be challenging, but I know isn't impossible for me to do? Because if you set yourself up for failure by making the challenge way too hard, you're going to feel like you put in all that work and it was for nothing. That also stems off of what I was saying before about being able to recognize progress even if you didn't complete your goal. Let's say you set yourself up and you gave yourself a week to do a certain goal. The week finished and you didn't complete your goal. Well, the important thing is to still acknowledge the fact that you put in work to reach your goal. That's the thing that matters. Set yourself up for success and choose a goal that you know is challenging, but you can still do it. For example, if you haven't run a kilometer ever in your life, don't set yourself up and say, I'm going to run 5 kilometers every day, because that's unrealistic. I'm saying that by setting a goal that is realistic yet still challenging, it'll help you feel proud of yourself when you finish it, because you'll realize that you can actually do things that you challenge yourself to do, and that'll just push you to keep going further. Another good habit that I want to mention is celebrating small wins. Mentally celebrating when you complete something, even if it's very minimal, even if it's something just as simple as making your bed or organizing your room or washing some dishes. Those little things, by celebrating, acknowledging the fact that you did something, the self-reward of congratulating yourself for these little wins will set off some dopamine in your brain, and it'll just feel good. It'll help you keep going. And like I was saying before, the snowball effect is very real. So if you do one thing, you congratulate yourself for it, it's going to make you want to do more good things. Let's say you can make your bed, congratulate yourself. You took a shower, congratulate yourself. You're putting in work. There are people that are doing nothing. Your competition is a bunch of losers, honestly. So if you're doing anything, you might as well congratulate yourself for it. There's no harm in that. Try and have a good relationship with working towards your future. Try and have a good relationship with that, because if you're able to fall in love with the process, it'll just push you to do more and more and more for yourself. And remember, at the end of the day, this is for your betterment. You're doing all this to become a better person, and to become a better person for you as well as for those around you. So you might as well fall in love with the process. So essentially, to wrap up what I said, what you must do is, number 1, get a pen and paper and lock yourself in a room with no distractions. Number 2, write down the definition of success to you. What does it look like? And I want you to find this answer intrinsically. Don't look outwards. Don't be suggestive from other people and what their definition of success looks like. No, find your definition of success. If success to you is finding a well-paying job and finding a significant other and having a family, then write that down if that's what you want. Number 3, what you must do is you must analyze your life and take a look at the things that you do on a day-to-day basis and find out which of those things are the ones that are keeping you further away from this destination or this end goal, which you will reach. I know for a fact you will. So by tailoring your life to reaching this end point, everything will be about your end goal. And that's a pretty beautiful way to look at life, honestly. Having everything that you do directed for one bigger, greater thing, that's a pretty beautiful thing. So once you have found the habits that are keeping you away from this, slowly and surely set small, accomplishable challenges for yourself. And little by little, you will make progress in diminishing these bad habits. And before you know it, you will be way further than you were when you started. And you'll have an idea of how to actually take care of things yourself. And you will build up that self-reliance, as well as having more trust in your inner compass, because that is what is truly going to take you far. That is what is going to take you to where you need to be. And that's honestly the only way to do it, because nobody is going to come do it for you. Nobody's going to put in the hard work for you. It's something that you have to do. So you might as well become a master at it. Use what you know. I hope this video was useful to you. Use what you found out today, apply it to your life, and watch how drastically your life will change. Just trust me, start small, and big things will happen. And with that, y'all, my name is Jay Baz. Glory Vision is the mission. Stay strong headed, pay attention. Pleasure versus fulfillment, learn the difference. Peace.